What's up guys? I've been getting a lot of questions about this new setup over on Discord. I just wanted to make a quick video to kind of go over how it works and how to set it up with the Predator. Now, before we get started, I just want to make a few things very clear. I just started testing this out. Do I think this is profitable long term? I don't know. I just started testing this out. With this strategy, I've only done historical backtesting since May 1st. And if you guys know me, you know I'm not a huge fan of that historical backtesting. I don't think those numbers are very accurate at all, but they can give you a good insight to whether you should continue testing in real time or not. So with historical backtesting, I have seen some decent numbers. Will that continue? I don't know. So again, guys, I'm just testing this out. The purpose of this video is just to show you guys on Discord that are interested in this particular setup, just how to actually set it up with the Predator. And one more thing, I'm going to make this template available for the lifetime and the trial members. Again, anybody that wants to try it out, you'll have access to it. And if you don't have the Predator X yet, there is a free trial over on Discord. I'm going to leave all the links down below. Make sure you guys check it out. But with that, let's go to our chart and just see how this works. All right, so the setup is actually very simple. It's just a collection of thoughts and ideas from other strategies, and we just kind of put them together. You guys know I don't like to overcomplicate my trading. I like to keep things as simple as possible. So with this setup, we're just looking at the MACD. We're looking at the momentum squeeze indicator, and this is the same indicator from my TTM video. We just took out the momentum part to clean things up. So don't worry, I'm going to share this indicator with you guys as well, completely free. This part is open source as well. So we use the MACD, we use the momentum, and we're using a 20 and a 50 EMA just to kind of help us filter out our trade even more. So the way this works is I'm just looking to make sure your green MACD line is above your red signal line. And the way we do that is we actually just look at this blue histogram. When it comes to the MACD, let me pull this up a little more. The blue histogram is your difference, and that is just the difference between both of these lines. So when you go above 0, that means your green line crossed the red line. When you go below 0, over here, that means your green line crossed below the red line. So all I'm looking for here is to make sure the diff is either above 0 for longs or below 0 for shorts. Now, the next part, I'm also looking to make sure that the actual MACD line itself is above 0 as well. I know it's very popular to trade MACD when it's on the opposite side of 0. So for example, we trade the MACD when it crosses, but it's below 0 because we're looking for some sort of a reversal. For me, I don't really care about that as much. I want to make sure that we are actually kind of trending more in that direction. I'm just trying to scalp. I am using the NQ. I'm not looking for that huge move. I just want to basically make sure we're kind of trending in that same direction. That's the whole idea. What's better? Again, I don't know yet, but it has been working decently the last little bit. So that's all it is with the MACD. Make sure the diff is above 0 for longs, and make sure the actual MACD is also above 0. And for shorts, the diff has to be below 0. The MACD has to be below 0. Now, let's move on to the momentum indicator. So the momentum indicator, like you guessed, we are just looking to make sure if we're going long, it has to be in the green. It has to be above 0. If we're going short, it has to be below 0. Now, I will probably make some updates to this in the next week or so. I do have a few more ideas to maybe improve this a little bit, but I just haven't had the time. I will probably make another video on this, but I will share that once that project is done and see if it actually improves anything. But that's all very straightforward, just above 0 or below 0. Now, let's move these back down. And the final step is just your 20 EMA and your 50 EMA. I want to make sure the 20 is above the 50 when we're going long, or the 20 is below the 50 when we're going short. And our entry point is when all of these conditions are in alignment. So everything is true at the exact same time. We're going to get our one entry signal. And guys, I am not looking to be trading this all day, every day. I am really just looking for one decent trade and that's it. I have stuff to do in my day. I don't want to be stuck to my charts. So I want to make sure we are taking this at the most optimal time when there's the most amount of volume, and hopefully that enters us, pushes us right to our target right away, and we can be done with it. So I have this set up so it only starts trading at 9:30 a.m. and this is in Eastern time zone. That's usually the market open. That's usually when we're getting the most amount of volume. So I think that's just about the entire setup. Again, very straightforward stuff. I am going to share my template after this video, but I am going to show you how to actually set this up with the Predator. So let me make a new chart here and we're going to go to our sim. Oh, one last thing. We are trading this on a 233 tick chart. And the reason for this is, honestly, I was just talking to somebody a lot smarter than myself, and they say this is a Fibonacci number. Again, I'm just seeing decent results with this specific chart while I was testing a bunch. So I don't know if that has anything to do with it. It's just that was the logic behind it. I honestly don't know much about it. But it did seem to give us some of the best numbers for this particular setup. So again, use this with whatever you want. We're just more or less in the testing phase. Now let's actually load the Predator. So whether you're on the trial or a lifetime, this is going to work exactly the same. So go to strategies and we're going to load the Predator. All right, the first thing we want to do is our custom signals. So with this, because we're looking for confluence of multiple signals, we're going to use our new filter signal system. And we're going to select 3. Now guys, this will only work on the latest versions of the Predator. If you don't see this enter at filter align, you have an old version, make sure you go to TradeSaber.com, upgrade your version. So we're just going to click that, but we're moving on to our filters. So here we have filter 1, 2, and 3. And for all 3 of these, we are using plot mode. So let me move this up a little bit so we can see our indicators as we work with them. So we don't need to worry about the tags just yet. We're going to get those once we actually enable the strategy. But we do have to select our operators and the value that we're looking for. So the first thing we're looking for is the MACD difference, or the diff. That is the blue histogram. And all we're doing is looking to cross above 0. And we turn off that long filter when we cross below 0. For our short, we turn it on when we cross below 0. And we turn our short off when we cross back above 0. That's all we need for that one. Now, filter number 2, we're looking for that MACD to be above and below 0. So again, this is going to be all very similar. So cross above 0, cross below 0 to turn it off, cross below 0 to turn on our short, cross above 0 to turn off our short. So you're basically turning it on, off, off. And now for our momentum indicator. And you guessed it, we are crossing above 0 and crossing below 0. You turn it on when we cross below 0, turn it off when we cross back above 0. That's all it is, and we select the actual plot tags once we enable the strategy. I'll show you how to do that. We also have a full user guide, guys, for anybody that wants to learn how to do this. There's much better videos that cover all of this in a lot more detail. All right, so we have our plots and we just need to set up our 20 and 50 EMA. So just go to indicators And these are already built into the Predator, so you don't have to have anything else. So I'm going to enable the fast. And I'm going to change this to a 20. And for my slow, I'm going to change this to an EMA. Where is it? There it is. That's all it is. That's the entire setup. Now we just have to worry about the order management. So let's head down to our order management section. Now I've been kind of playing around with a few different options. I don't know what's the actual best setup, but I do know, especially for smaller accounts, my main goal is to make sure the drawdown doesn't take me out before I can actually make profit. Again, I'm running this on an Apex eval account, and I'm only using a 25K account, so I don't have a lot of wiggle room. During my testing, I did see if you have a bigger stop distance, like you have maybe a 100K account, 150K account, you may be able to get away with that bigger drawdown. And I did see that some of them made quite a bit more profit. But again, if you're using that smaller account, you have to really tighten your criteria. So the order management I'm using right now is an ATR based stop. And you guys know I love my ATR, 2.1 times ATR. That is usually my go-to for pretty much any strategy. The ATR will adjust to any current market conditions. So if the bar sizes are getting much bigger, your ATR is going to be set farther away. If the bar sizes are really tight, your ATR is going to come bring that in as well. So I really, really like the ATR. Again, use whatever you guys feel comfortable with. But ATR, and now because again, I am trying to reduce that drawdown, I do have a trail stop with this, and I'm just trailing at the exact same distance of 2.1 times ATR. So I have seen that the price does come back. Sometimes we get stopped out a little early before a big move. But with this 2.1 times ATR, I do find that it trails far away enough where you may get a small pullback, and sometimes you don't get stopped out, but it does keep that stop tight enough where you're not going to lose a massive amount in case it does pull back for real. But again, this is all just my opinion. Now for a profit target, I've been setting it at 120 ticks. I do find this is a little far away actually. The last few days I've been testing this, I would have been much better off with a smaller profit target because the price was moving up and then it retraced and took my trail stop out. But this is what I've been testing for the last little while, so I'm going to keep it just like that. And again, guys, we're just testing. We may end up changing this later on. But that's all we need. We're trading the actual NQ, so you don't need a lot of size unless you have a huge account. But for my purpose, this is plenty good enough. Now, additional filters, this is where we're going to set up our time and our P&L limits. Like I said, guys, I am just looking to trade this during the main market open. I just want to take 1 or 2 trades max and be done with my day. So I'm going to set this at 9:30 a.m. You have to adjust this to your time zone. I have my VPS set at Eastern, so that is what I'm doing, Eastern time. And my end time, it can be honestly whatever. It's not going to trade all day, I can promise you that. Actually, I cannot promise anything, but it is very unlikely it's going to trade all day. All I add after that is a realized profit and loss. If I make over $200 in a day, that's it, I'm done. I don't care anymore. I want to be done trading. But in the case that I do lose one trade, I believe $400 gives you enough room. If you lose one, you can trade again. If you lose 2 in a row, you're done trading for the day. So basically, I'm looking for one and done. If I lose the first one, try again. If you lose the first one, win the second, then it's going to try and trade again until you hit either 200 in profit or 400 in loss. Yeah, that's about it. That's the entire setup. very simple, very straightforward. Let's hit apply. This may trade now because our time filter is already on and we have it up to 4:45. Ideally, this should have been right at 9:30 over here. So if you see it taking trades right now, that's okay, but just keep in mind for today, it should have started around 9:30. Anyways, the validation system, this is where we select our plot signals. So remember that cross above zero, cross below zero. I'm going to see if I can put a screenshot of our setup over here so we can kind of comparing it as we do it. So all we have to do is select the actual plot name. And this is just reading any exposed plot on the chart. So you can select literally anything as long as it has a set value, we can use it as a signal. So the diff and the diff. And now for my second filter is just making sure the MACD is above zero or below zero. So that is the actual MACD. And you can see your filter already started there. And then for our momentum, we are doing the momentum TS. I may change this to the signal later on once I make some modifications. For this video, just use the momentum TS plot. Now, what I like to do is just reset everything once you pick your plots and re-enable it, and it should catch you up to everything. So you can see right now, these are your plots. So the diff is below zero. So signal number one is on the short side. Your MACD is also below zero. And the momentum is also below zero. All right, so now let's go over how to backtest this. So I'm going to disable it, go into strategies, and all I'm going to do is show historical trades. This is going to show you any trade that it may have taken in the past. So we have everything set up. And once we enable it, it's going to show you the trades. So this is actually very similar to what we did today. So here we have 9:30, we have everything in alignment, our diff, our MACD, our momentum, and our 20 EMA is above our 50. It enters us into the trade, and the ATR trail stop took us out. So 265 out of 200. What did we actually do? So the actual one was actually a little bit better somehow, but the live trade on the eval was 315. So that's all it is. We reached above 200, so it's not taking any more trades the rest of the day. This other one would have been a really nice winner, but again, we're just in the testing phase. You guys can adjust this to whatever you guys are comfortable with. Now let's move on to a previous day. Yes, yesterday was a little bit more of a difficult day. So the reason it's taking so many trades here is because yesterday we kept getting either stop break even, or we'd have one loser, one small winner, one loser, I think, and a winner. It kept getting us right to that break even point. I believe we eventually ended up on a good note. I think I have my screenshots. So this was from yesterday. So you can see it did take quite a few trades. I kind of messed up very early in the morning. I didn't start it till a few minutes later. But as you can see, we did have, I think this one, oh, that might be out of the screen there. But as you can see, we did have this one right here, and that was pretty accurate. I think it took us out a little bit sooner than that. And yeah, we kept getting kind of stop break even, and it took quite a few more trades than it had to. So here you can see, I think I started my trading a little bit later, but it would have been around break even anyways. But this was actually the first trade I took, and it actually stopped out pretty accurately there on the historical. This one is a little bit different. Let me just double check this. I think I was actually using, I'm actually using the 21 EMA in my example there. Let me test that out, see if it's any better. Yes, that looks a little more accurate. So we're using the 21 EMA, not the 20 EMA. So just make that adjustment. Again, I don't know which one works better, but I had 20 EMA in my head for some reason, but no, it was 21 EMA. So this was the trade I took live yesterday, and it got us in there. And then, yeah, we had a stop out, and then it took us back in. So for me, I actually ended up moving the profit target down because like I mentioned earlier, the profit targets, I do find they were a little farther away. I think I was up, yeah, around 400, almost $500. I'm only trading a 25K account. So that was already a little bit overkill for one single day on that type of account. So I ended up taking that trade out early. That's why it stopped me out early. But as you can see, just kind of kept breaking even. Eventually, I would have been just fine letting it run, but I like to interfere with it sometimes for better or worse. Let's move on. I think that was pretty much it. Let me load up since May 1st, and we'll do another historical test. Again, guys, I'm going to be doing a lot more testing. I know some of you guys wanted to test this out as well with different settings. So I'm just kind of playing around with it here. So this one I had since May 1st. So apply, and this might take a little bit to load up. All right, so here I have all the days loaded since May 1st. So again, I'm just going to do that historical backtest. And the good thing about using the signal plots with the Predator is they do read quite a bit faster. If you were using the object signal mode where you're looking at like an arrow or a text, it is still going to work in a similar way, but the plots are going to be quite a bit faster. So let's just let it do its thing here. And here we have our total P&L for every single day combined. We have our daily P&L, that's for today. And let me check the historical performance. Again, guys, I don't put too much weight on these numbers. These numbers don't really mean too much. It's the actual live numbers that you want to test out. Unless we have those live numbers, I'm very skeptical of most things. But again, this just kind of gives us an idea whether we should continue testing or not. So I didn't add commissions, but it doesn't take that many trades. 186 trades for what is it now? May, June, July, August. Well, beginning of August, so about 3 months. It's not that many, to be honest. So just kind of add that for commissions. Yeah, we have our total net profit. The drawdown, this is what I kind of liked. This will be better on maybe a 50K account or even bigger. I'm running this on a 25K account, so I will probably need to run this on a bigger account or figure out a way to reduce this drawdown. But honestly, 1800 max drawdown for something like this is not that much. But obviously, we can improve. I do have a few more ideas, but need to test those out. Those are the numbers since May 1st. So yeah, I think that just about covers everything. So the strategy, how it works, how to set it up, and a little bit of back testing. Again, guys, is this going to be long-term profitable? I don't know. I'm very skeptical of most things, but it is something that I kind of came across and I wanted to make sure I share with you guys and see if you guys can make it any better. So I think I'm going to cut the video here. It's already getting kind of long, but I hope you guys found this video useful. I will have more updates on this in the next couple weeks. But again, hope you guys found this useful. Links for everything down below. As always, take care, enjoy.